Welcome back to Blazing Sky, y'all. Johnny Blaze here. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. You might find some interesting videos on our channel. And if you're a loyal subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through rough times. I know we haven't been around for a while, but I'm gonna explain to you what's been going on. Right now we are in front of Wichita Mountain Power Sports, and this is where I've been hanging out for the past couple months. Let me take you inside and show you around. Now when you first walk in here, you will notice a Honda VFR 1200 just sitting right here in the middle of the floor. This is pretty much the waiting area, reception area. What we do here is repair, maintenance, service work, you know, tire changes and stuff like that. We work on pretty much everything. So let me take you into our service area. See, we've got a couple bikes in here already. Now, a few months ago, this place was jam-packed, like you couldn't even walk around in here. Like, we had to do some pretty hardcore parkouring just to get around all these bikes and different vehicles we have here, but there's a lot of space now. This used to be jam-packed. So we've been putting out a lot of work here. We work on all sorts of vehicles, y'all. We've got ATVs, we've got little sport bikes, cruisers. We have this UTV here. It's a manual. This is a old Ducati we've been working on. This is a one of one in America bike right here. There's only two in the world, and this is one of them. Now let me take you to the other side where we mostly do all the work. Over here is where all the tools and where we actively work and stuff like that. We've got the fuel injector cleaner right here. This is the ultrasonic cleaner. Our battery charging station right here. Tiny but mighty lift. We got a rolling tool cart here. This goes around where we go, so we don't have to run back and forth to grab different tools around the shop. So most of the stuff we need is gonna be on this cart right here. Here's our tire changing station. And here's this Honda Goldwing that I've been working on the past couple weeks. Stripped it down and put it back together like 3 times already. But yeah, this is the shop, Wichita Mountain Power Sports. And this is where I've been hanging out for the past few months. Say hi to Mello. So this is the office. All right, let's get out of the office.
See you later.
Oh yeah, all right, check this out. This is my Lectric XP 3.0. This bike I hadn't ridden in a year. It looks like this. Why? Because the bike snapped in half. When I was coming down from a jump, it totally snapped in half. And I just barely put these straps on it yesterday. And I just wanted to check and see how well it holds up. And so far it's doing pretty good, I think. I'll probably give it a little ride later. It still powers on and everything, but I've got a broken display, so I can't see how fast I'm going or anything. Now, how did we end up here? Well, I'd like to take this back about a year ago. It was a different time and place for us. I was working at a dispensary, and around this time last year, it was getting ready to shut down. So we knew it was coming because they had sold the building and you know, they let all the employees know what the plans were. So basically my last day was December 31st. You know, and at the time our snack business had been going strong for a little over a year. We were in a few retail locations and we were doing the farmers market every Saturday. Now, we did occasionally take in some, you know, special orders for like brisket and ribs and stuff like that. We were approached by the owners of the building. They had this idea of maybe leasing out half of the building or a portion of the building to do our barbecue business out of. And you know, it sounded great and all, but you know, after that one talk, they never brought up the idea again. And then when it was close to time for us, you know, to take our exit, my boss, he said he would invest in us. He would front us some money to get a barbecue food trailer and, you know, continue working that way. So he gave us some money and we went and bought a food trailer. It took a while to get the food trailer up and running because, you know, of the lack of funds or that were available at the time. Because when we got laid off, I had to wait for bonus money or stuff like that, you know, just to go pay for permits and everything. And the food trailer was finally up and running in February. Our loan agreement didn't start until April, and we paid him off in August. 4 months he was paid off. But before we got there, okay, we were doing so well with the food trailer at the farmers market that we didn't really have to go anywhere else to sell food. We were selling out within 2 to 3 hours of opening. And you know, if anybody knows anything about barbecue, it takes a long time to cook. In a food trailer, our holding capacity was pretty low. So I had 4 traditional offset smokers that I cooked out of, and you know, we could only make so much, and when it's gone, it's gone. We would have lines before we opened up, before the farmers market even opened up, and you know, people were ready to throw their money at us. We've won a few awards during the past year. We were voted #1 food truck, #1 barbecue food trailer, #1 barbecue. Okay, so we were getting somewhere, and we wanted to be able to provide more food for everyone. So we had this idea of, you know, getting into a restaurant, into a brick and mortar restaurant. So when I told our investor that we were interested in opening up a restaurant because we were selling out too fast on, you know, everyone. And I wish I had this all in recording or writing or something somewhere, but he had initially said, if you go ahead and sell the food trailer, you know, I'll see what I can do in investing more money into you, into helping you open up your restaurant faster. We ended up selling the food trailer and paid him off. Well, we had also been scouting out restaurant locations as well, and we found one, a very, very cheap, great for the money, great for the space building. It used to be a Subway with an attached office with an apartment in the back. So we had planned on moving in. You know, let's eliminate what we're paying for the house now and move in, and that'll tie into our rent there at the restaurant. We had signed the lease and everything for this building, and you know, I was texting him, giving him progress as to what's going on. And you know, we're about to go meet with the city, we're about to go meet with the, you know, the landlord, the property manager. We needed to give the property manager the deposit for the building within a week. So a week goes by and he finally texts back and says, sorry, I can't help you financially anymore. And yeah, we were shocked, dumbfounded, like what the hell, the rug has just been pulled from underneath us. Not only did he lay off 3 people from the dispensary, now he's laid off 3 people from the food truck. You know, it was me working in there, it was Sky, it was Braden. I get it, I understand why. because he was hiding the fact that he had given us money and bought us a food trailer from his wife. And I guess maybe he finally told her after we paid him off, and he told her and then that he needed more money to invest into our restaurant, and she said no, and he's like, I don't want to argue with her. And it was their anniversary weekend or something like that. And I haven't heard from him since August. Nothing. So I see where we stand on that, you know, whatever. So now we had a lease, a signed lease, but no deposit, no investor. So then here comes our contractor that we were gonna use to build out the place, turn it into a restaurant for us, a barbecue restaurant. He said, well, if you give me that office right there, if you let me have that office, then I'll build it out for you, free of labor. After our first investor had bailed, the contractor, you know, we were getting down to it, and he said he'll front all the costs, everything like that. Then we went to the city to get the permits and everything. We walked out of City Hall, and he brings up this idea where he wants to run a donut shop whenever we're not using the restaurant, whenever we're not using the kitchen. He wanted to run an overnight donut shop in the barbecue restaurant. Okay. One, the kitchen is never closed. If he knew anything about how barbecue worked or the business, then he would know the kitchen is never closed. Even though we're not open to the public and serving barbecue, the kitchen is still in use. We still gotta go in there and prep meats and everything and get ready for the next day. Plus, we would be living in the back apartment that's directly connected to the kitchen. So if he's opening this donut shop overnight while we're trying to sleep, there's gonna be a problem. We're gonna bump heads. So no, it was not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. He wanted to leave it open for first responders, for people waiting for their loved ones to get out of jail. They just bailed someone out of jail and they want to sit and have some coffee and donut. One, why aren't they waiting in front of the jailhouse, which is down the street, for their loved one to get out? Why are they wanting their loved one to come all the way to the donut shop before they go home? What if they don't want to walk all the way down the road? They've been in jail all day or all week. They want to get in the car and leave now. That's pretty dumb. And I don't want to invite a bunch of criminals in there to begin with. And we got a bunch of homeless people sleeping in the streets overnight in downtown. That's just ridiculous, dummy. We told him we didn't like the idea, so he got all butthurt and started crying like a little baby. And when I started trying to explain stuff to him, we were on the phone. He had his brother on speaker. He hung up on me like a little bitch. That's asshole by nature. You can't build that for us, alright? So then we had a friend in the restaurant business that owns 2 restaurants currently hop in and say, hey, I'm in this business. I can help you build out this place for cheap, and I'll invest in y'all. We're on our 3rd investor now. Let's see how this goes. The day before we were to pick up the keys, the day before we were to hand the deposit over to the property manager, we ourselves decided maybe this isn't the right direction for us because of the headaches that we're going through right now. It was a lot going on, and one negative after another. We're like, hold up, things aren't going our way anymore, you know. Let's just stop before we get into this, because one, we were already busy as hell in the food truck, busy as hell doing our snack business. We haven't had a vacation in over 2 years, you know, and we thought we would be having more time together with the family, with the kids. No, it was constant work every day, almost 24/7. Like, there'd be nights where I finished cooking and pulling everything out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's 5:30. It's time to get up and get ready for the farmer's market. You know, that took a toll on me. I was delirious. I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack every morning. I felt, like this ain't fun anymore. So I mean, it's kind of good that we called it quits. So Sky and I, we both got jobs now. We get to clock in and clock out. We have more time for the kids. We have more time as a family. We look forward to a vacation this year, okay? In case you guys are wondering, well, what are we up to? Like, are we gonna be riding or are we gonna be making shop content? Our channel was always about riding, you know, adventuring out on two wheels and stuff like that. We love being on bikes. But during all that struggle, we did have to sell all our bikes and, you know, just to stay afloat. We sold a lot of things. But the only bike I have left is my Lectric XP 3.0 because I couldn't sell it. It was broken. I barely just put it back together yesterday. But yeah, this isn't the last of us. We're gonna be riding again. Melody, she asked, are we ever gonna ride again? And she loves riding. She didn't like getting out of the house unless it was to go riding. She doesn't like going to Walmart. She doesn't like getting off games and doing anything else around the house. But if we say, hey, let's go get ready to ride, she's like, okay, let's go. Brayden, I don't know about him. He hasn't really ridden at all since his accident. He hurt his wrist and I guess he hurt his confidence as well. Me, I'm always down to ride all the time. And Sky, no, she's been itching to ride. So look forward to new things with us and stick around, like and subscribe. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you in the next one.